Hello and welcome back to the Formula Tober YouTube channel. I haven't said that in a while because I have not uploaded since the start of June, before France actually. Yeah, it's been a while. I thought my last video was going to be really good. Turns out it wasn't. But now I'm upping the production quality. All these videos are going to be great. Weekly uploads. I've got a green screen now. It's pitch black in my room apart from this light here. Because otherwise this is a very thin green screen, and I've just had to shut the curtains because otherwise that you just wouldn't be able to see that. The light would just come through it. But we're here now. We've got a green screen. Hopefully it works. This might look terrible in the edit. But today we're doing a video based on you might not know where the F1 teams are based, so I'm going to tell you. So a lot of the teams are based in Europe. And I say Europe, I mean the UK. I think all of the teams have at least one base in the UK, in Europe, sorry, with 6 of them being primarily based in the UK. Even though they're not UK teams as such, they're just based in the UK, with one of them having a secondary base. But let's get on with it, shall we? Let's talk about Ferrari, because Ferrari. I don't even need to say this. Ferrari are obviously Italian. They have their base in Maranello. And yeah, there's really not much to say about Ferrari. Their heritage is Italian. Italians are Ferrari fans in F1. It's just, Ferrari is such an iconic Italian brand. And it is the Italian brand, Ferrari. And I think without Ferrari, would Italy have such a big connotation in F1 or motorsport? I don't know. Moving on to Mercedes. Mercedes are a German team, but they consider Silverstone their home race because their base in Brackley, in the UK, is really not that far from Silverstone at all. So I think they tweeted in Silverstone a couple of weeks ago. They said something about Silverstone. They consider it their home race, even though they are a German team. Yeah, they also have an engine factory in Brixworth, so that's their 2 factories in the UK, Brackley and Brixworth. Brackley, they make everything else, and Brixworth is just the Mercedes AMG Petronas engines. Red Bull, Milton Keynes, but they are an Austrian team. So Red Bull are an Austrian team. If you watched the Austrian Grand Prix, any of the stuff around that, if you watch any of the AlphaTauri stuff, or the Red Bull stuff, you'll know that Red Bull's home is Austria. It's an Austrian brand, Austrian drink company, but they're based in Milton Keynes here, in the UK, not too far from places like Luton. It's quite a new place, Milton Keynes, actually. But yeah, so it's an Austrian company, very Austrian. I think they take their home races, Austria, very seriously. It's not like Mercedes, where it's like they're a German team, but they consider Silverstone their home race because, it is, everyone's from the UK here, quite close to Silverstone where they work. Milton Keynes is the home of Red Bull. Most of the Red Bull employees are British because that's just how that works. But yeah, they consider Austria their home race because it is. They respect their heritage. They're also setting up, I believe, a separate engines factory with the Red Bull powertrains thing coming in next year. When Honda leave at the end of the year, I think they're setting up a new factory for their powertrain. I don't think that's going to be done in Milton Keynes. It might be. I might have got that wrong. But I think it's a separate building at least. I don't think it's in Milton Keynes though. Moving on to Williams. Williams are based in Grove in Oxfordshire, here in the UK as well. That's just, they're a British team. That's just what it is. They're a British team. Really not much to go on. Frank Williams was British. And pretty much everyone who works in it is British. Obviously, the majority of people are going to be British because it's a British team, British factory. And Grove in Oxfordshire is where they're based. McLaren, another British team. A lot of the teams are British. Another one, McLaren, obviously, very British team. But Bruce McLaren, now correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm pretty sure Bruce McLaren was Scottish, right? But McLaren is based in Woking in England, and they're a British team. But I'm pretty sure Bruce McLaren was Scottish. Alfa Romeo. Now, if this was the 1950s, in 1950, I would say something like the current constructors champion Alfa Romeo. Of course, an Italian brand. The Italian car manufacturer Alfa Romeo and the F1 team as well are Italian. But this is not 1950, and Alfa Romeo is not really Alfa Romeo of the 1950s. It's not the Alfa Romeo as of the car manufacturer. It's just the sponsor, the title sponsor of Sauber. Now, Sauber was known as Sauber since 1993, short stint of BMW Sauber. But that Sauber name was in Formula 1 since 1993, up until 2019. Because in 2018, Alfa Romeo became a title sponsor, so it was Alfa Romeo Sauber. But from 2019, it just turned to Alfa Romeo Racing. So that Sauber name is no longer in F1 for the time being. And I believe it was a 3-year deal that's just been signed. I know there has been an extension deal with Alfa Romeo staying in Formula 1 signed. I think it's 3 years. It might not be. It might be longer than that. It's 3 or more years. Alfa Romeo is going to be in Formula 1. And the Sauber name is not. I haven't even mentioned where they're from though yet, have I? So Sauber is based in Zurich in Switzerland. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. So Alfa Romeo basically being Sauber, that's where they're based. They're based in Switzerland. They're a Swiss team, even though the car manufacturer is Italian. Bit confusing. Now, Racing Point, not Racing Point, sorry. What am I talking about? Aston Martin. Aston Martin are a British team. And I thought that was a new thing. I thought they would just become a British team. And I thought Racing Point, up until Sakir, was a Canadian team. But I was wrong on that. When the national anthem said, I was like, hang on. That's not the Canadian anthem, that's the British one. But I just assumed because Maple Leaf on the car, Canadian owners, I just assumed Racing Point was Canadian. But actually, in 2018, when it was bought out by Lawrence Stroll, the company that bought Force India was known as Racing Point UK Limited, and that was the official constructor's name. So they're based in Silverstone, British team. I'm not sure if it was considered a British team though when it was still Force India, because I know Force India was still based in Silverstone, but I assume that was an Indian team. I don't know really. I assume so. I'm not sure though. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one as well. Alpine, French obviously, but based in Enstone in Oxfordshire. A lot of places based in Oxfordshire. Yeah, so Alpine was Renault, obviously. Iconic French brand, but not a French team. Well, it is a French team, but it's not based in France. It's based in Enstone in Oxfordshire, just like it always has, that team. So, yeah, French team based in UK. Another Italian team, AlphaTauri, or Scuderia AlphaTauri, was Minardi, then it was Toro Rosso, now it's AlphaTauri. Has always been based in Faenza, Italy, which is about half an hour away from Imola, hence why Imola is their test track. Yeah, based in Faenza, Italian team, based in Italy, just like Ferrari. Now, Haas. Haas are an American team. Well, sort of. They're based in Kannapolis, North Carolina, in the USA. Although they do have a European-based base in, surprise, Oxfordshire, England, in a place called Banbury. So that's that, really. that's where the F1 teams are based. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, 10 F1 teams, 10 countries of origin, and 10 places where they're currently based. Because it's quite surprising how they're not based where they're from. I assumed Alpine was going to be based somewhere in France, but no, in Stone, Oxfordshire. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully next week, but we all know my upload schedule. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.